Alright, today if you hear any noise in the background, that's Algeria versus Jordan. I guess the ASMR. Wow. Almost a goal maybe. The ASMR version, I guess, of it is the coach's cam I have in the background. They're not playing us on the TV here, they played some of the other games. But anyway, I wanted to show you some World Cup cards on COMC and eBay. And I think the prices have gone up just because of World Cup time. Also, COMC is basically, more expensive now, but there's the 1974 Bassett World Cup stars. It's either Barrett or Bassett, I'm not sure, but they call it Barrett and Bassett in a lot of the eBay listings. But here's a Derek Johnstone. Don't know who he is, he's $1.24, but when you get one of the better names in the set here, like Kenny Dalglish, look, you can get one for $6.28, but again, it's fulfilled by COMC. And then you get another one here, $7.15, filled by COMC. And you've got another 74 fulfilled by COMC for $5.52. These are all relatively mint examples. Why would you want to pay $115 or $99.99 to get one of those in a terrible slab? Look at these terrible, terrible, disgusting slabs here. If I can get to it here, I've got a weird pattern on the screen here. But you know about the PSA slabs here. This is my laptop because I have a broken PC. But look at how gross that slab is. I mean, just free it from the slab, but don't pay $115 for that card. It's a PSA 9. You could get a 7 to a 9 for like $5 or $10. That would include the shipping. And then you go back here, and you've got another one in kind of a yucky looking slab, and that one as well too. See, so that's never fun. But again, you've got one here. Look at this one here for $5.52. I'm going to show you this one here. These, I can tell you, probably have never been issued. These are virtually in unissued condition. It's hard to explain, but because I bought lots of non-sports cards, there's like the London Cigarette Company, which I've never bought from, but I tried to years ago and something went goofy or whatever. And then there was like the Marchant Trading Card Company, and they had backstocks of like crazy amounts of mint condition cards that have never seen the light of day. So these cards here, okay, something happened. Something happened. Wow. Okay, that's what just happened. Algeria got two towards the end of the game. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's go back to what we're looking at here. Well, we want to show you the back of the card here, if I can get back to it here. That's what they look like. I believe I have one card from the set. I want to go back and show you all of them here. If I go back a page here, and we get all the stars here, and then we want to go to lowest price here. How many cards are there? See, like, again, eBay, it's really hard to know what's going on here. I've got this weird shop by set, by player. Oh my gosh, how did I get into this situation here? I just want to see all the cards. I just want to see all the cards here. There's a $200 Barrett Sweets, Johan Cruyff. That could be expensive, but man, that should not be that, $200. Because it's World Cup time, people are just asking insane. Franz Beckenbauer, is that really worth $200? It was not a very expensive set a few years ago, and now these things are hundreds of dollars. If you just hit the right listing here. Again, people are asking a minimum of $5 a card, and it was just only like a year or two ago when these were only $1 a card or 75 cents a card. And I said, there's no reason to get these cards when they're so plentiful. Again, that's what I say. Look at all these cards here. Just pages and pages and pages of these cards here. It's like there's like 3 pages of these things. There's 353 from COMC. For pages of these things here. They should not be, crazy amounts of money for these things that had no value a couple years ago. Now people are looking at them, they don't know the history of these things. Then we go to COMC right here. And again, $1.24, and I bet you if I logged into COMC, they'd be a little bit cheaper, closer to that 80-odd cent range there. Again, tons of them for $1. We're going to go to the highest first here. Go to highest first here, and we'll see what the real price is. Again, some of the COMC, I don't know, that's a different card there. So what is going on here? Oh, we want to go to Bassett or Barrett. Okay. All right. And that's what we want to look at here. We don't want to look at the other ones here. All right. So yeah. See, somebody wants $300. Gunnar Netzer. Willie Morgan, again, those are just people that I'm not familiar with here. Dennis Law, 646. Again, it's confusing because I went to highest first, and now we got a guy for $121, but then we got one for $6 because look at the $6 card. I'll show you this here. $6.46 for a virtually mint card here, and then some bozo think it's funny to put it for $120.27. This is what you really have got to watch out for. The people are scamming people. You know, just to save on purchases and shipping. So I'd have to, you know, like I said, my computer's busted and I can't log into anything with this one here because it's not working. I have to find all my passwords and it's not a fun little situation there. Because it was all remembered. That's what I hate, is everything is all super password remembered. And you're not going to remember this stuff to save your life. And even if you do, you know, it's like, well, what's your this and what's your this and what's your telephone number? And even if you put the right numbers, like, nope, that's not good. You know, so I got a message out to Google saying, hey, fix me, you know, so whatever. So again, silly times here for just one little, and then we want to go to World Cup cards from like, let's go to soccer cards here. I'm looking at World Cup here, and we just want to go to the 1990s here, 1994. 90s, there's 17,000 cards. And again, some of them are listed in poor condition for $1. $1 in poor condition. There's one for 88 cents there. The upper deck ones there. I had World Cup in here. Oh, they deleted my World Cup. And again, there we go, World Cup. Oh, I spelled world wrong. When do you know that? Okay, well, this is not going to be the greatest video here, but I have to make something, and I don't know when I can get this uploaded. So Upper Deck was the only one essentially did a World Cup back then, but if you know anything, they break, and the cards get stuck to each other. So that's why sometimes you'll find poor condition cards for like less than $1. But I wouldn't pay, you know, a nickel for some of these things. Through like the autograph den, they were going like 15 cents, 25 cents, 75 cents for cards, depending on which. Again, because it's World Cup time, people will pay a couple extra dollars. But if this is a 300 to 400 card set with inserts in it, you're not going to want to spend $5,000 on the set. $1 per card, and then the big stars are going to be, you know, $5, $10, $15, $25, and then you might be $500 to $5,000 into a set that was probably barely even doing $30 a few years ago. That's how nutty things have gotten. That's just essentially what this video is about, because Soccer Cup Mania, but then I take these cards to a show and people spit on them. It's like, I wouldn't want that stuff. I want this Pokemon stuff that seems to be, you know, fire these days. You know, so we're questioning our sanity at the card show, wondering if we should burn our cards because the people that were selling 5-cent cards weren't selling them at all. If I had a chance to buy cards for 5 cents at a store, I would say, you know what, let's just count them up and let's just buy them all. And then I could, you know, price them accordingly at my table and see if anybody would buy them eventually. Got a commercial here. We're going to get rid of this here.
Into my weekly routine.
Let's get rid of this one here. There we go. That'll fix that. But like I said, I just remember when these cards were virtually nothing, but now they're $1 a card. $1 a card, and there's no way to live. There's no set building, no nothing. Again, you got to watch out for these people that are trying to scam you. The poor condition ones are going to be double or triple the cost of a mint condition one. I have probably about 15 to 20 cards from the set and another 15 to 20 on the way. So that's only 40 cards out of 300 and some, and so I'll still need 200 and some cards. And then again, I cannot get them for under 200 bucks. That would be nuts. But it's just a junk wax era set that seems to be overlooked by a lot of people. You know, because of, you know, the condition issues. So that's basically taking a toll on the mint ones. If you hadn't opened them back in the day, but you open them now, you ruined it. Or if you put them in a box and forgot about them, they're going to be stuck in bricks. So you have to just basically take care of your cards, and thank you for watching.